main wife. And she was telling him also, why do you need Sita? You have so many nice wives. I don't need that. For this, I don't need it. For the book, I need it. That's why I use this. You don't have to depend on anyone else and any other lights and having glasses. You have to thank technology. Oh, greatly fortunate one, you came under the influence of lusty desires. Therefore, you could not understand the influence of Mother Sita. Now, because of her curse, you have been reduced to this state, having been killed by Lord Ramchandra. Purport. Not only was Mother Sita powerful, but any woman who follows the footsteps of Mother Sita can also become similarly powerful. There are many instances of this in the history of Vedic literature. Whenever we find a description of ideal chaste woman, Mother Sita is among them. Mandodari, the wife of Ravana, was also very chaste. Similarly, Draupadi was one of the 5 exalted chaste women. As a man must follow great personalities like Brahma and Narada, a woman must follow the path of such ideal women as Sita, Mandodari, and Draupadi. By staying chaste and faithful to her husband, a woman enriches herself with supernatural power. It is a moral principle that one should not be influenced by lusty desires for another's wife. Matrivat padadareshu, an intelligent person must look upon another's wife as being like his mother. This is the moral injunction from Chanaka Sloka. Atmavat sarva bhuteshu yat pashyati sapandita. One who considers another's wife as his mother, another's possessions as a lump of dirt, and treats all other living beings as he would himself, is considered to be learned. Thus Ravana was condemned not only by Lord Ramachandra, but even by his own wife, Mandodari. Because she was a chaste woman, she knew the power of another chaste woman, especially such a wife as Sita. Sita could have burned Ravana up by her glance, but she didn't want to do that because it would make it look like Ramachandra was weak. She wouldn't let Hanuman take her back. She said, my husband has to come and get me. Otherwise, people will criticize him. Why he sent someone else to do the job. Then we get men, husbands and fathers both. We had that experience in the early days in India, and the young boy would want to join, and the father would say, no, 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 you have to be like Ram, you have to obey your father. I say, go to college, get an education, be an engineer, and give me money. And I'm your father, you have to be like Ram, obey. But there's another injunction that if the father is taking you away from Ram, then you don't have to obey. When Lakshman told Ram that. And the husband tells the wife as he's beating her and kicking her, you have to be like Sita and loyal to your husband and never complain. But the man has to be like Ram also. He has to be a good follower of Ram, the king, like that king Dana. He was saying this. The fact is, in the Veda, the king is called Nara Devata. He's God in the form of a man. So he's treated like God. Takshahari. So he was telling everybody, don't worship Vishnu, only me. And that didn't go over so good with the Ramanas, so they killed him. But this mentality comes. We've had husbands I've seen told the wife, if you go to the temple and serve, you're unchaste. Only serve me. Stay home and cook for me. You can't cook for the deity, otherwise you're an unchaste wife. I'm not kidding. I have seen. The one who I know did, he committed suicide recently. Because he did other things we can't mention in the Bhagavad Gita. So Sita was, of course, Lakshmi, unlimitedly powerful, and she tried to preach to Ravana. She said, what kind of low-class man are you going around? He went all over the universe stealing other wives, not only her. Stealing young daughters, stealing wives of everybody. And he said, what's wrong with that? That's what Rakshasas do. So she wouldn't surrender to him. He told her, I'll make you the number one wife. You can live in the most, solid gold palaces. But she didn't care. How can you be attached to a puny human who's kicked out of his own kingdom? It's useless. You fool. Next. O pleasure of the Rakshasa dynasty. Because of you, the state of Lanka and also ourselves now have no protector. By your deeds you have made your body fit to be eaten by vultures and your soul fit to go to hell. Purport: one who follows the path of Ravana is condemned in two ways. His body is fit to be eaten by dogs and vultures, and the soul goes to hell. As stated by the Lord himself in the Bhagavad Gita 18:19. Kanaham dushita kruran samsareshu naradaman chipam yajashram ashvam ashuresveshu eva yonishu. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. Thus, the destination of godless atheists such as Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, and Dantavakra is a hellish condition of life. Mandodari, the wife of Ravan, could understand all this because she was a chaste woman. Although lamenting for the death of her husband, she knew what would happen to his body and soul. For although one cannot see directly into another's with one's material eyes, one can see with the eyes of knowledge, Pashanti Gana Chakshusha. In Vedic history, there are many instances of how one becomes godless and condemned by the laws of nature. As on the battlefield, there's so many dead bodies that often that was the result. The vultures and dogs would come and eat them. They couldn't really make funeral proper or everything. When Dhritarashtra took all the women, the Kuru women to the battlefield, they were trying to find their husband's body. The head was over here, the arms were over there, the body was over here. The vultures were already eating. They had to beat the vultures away and make a fire and try to have a funeral for their husbands, their fathers, their brothers, their sons. Everybody is weeping and weeping. Everybody had their hair down. All because of offending Draupadi. Men nowadays they think women don't have souls practically. We heard the movie yesterday. Ramachandra said, "Tell Ravan I'm not fighting just to kill him. Fighting for Dharma, so that there'll be never another man to act like you." But Kali Yuga comes, eventually, and these things are going on. So nobody's respected. Everyone just thinks power corrupts. So if I have some power, if I have money, if I'm in a powerful position, I can do whatever I want. And to some extent they can, but they look out for the results. They don't know the result. Like there's so many devotees that all they do is criticize devotees. They don't just criticize every devotee, they criticize the leaders. We have them all over the internet. They don't do anything except criticize the GPC, criticize the gurus, criticize their temple president. And they're miserable, unhappy people. Because after the liberation of Jagai and Madai, Lord Chaitanya turned black. And the devotees were amazed. He said, I've taken all the sinful reactions of Jagai and Madai. So now let's have a big kirtan. So they had a huge kirtan. It was like, I don't know if they have here these dances where the young people, they smash into each other, knock each other down. They go wild. So that Jagai and Madai were running around like madmen. They were smashing into Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Everybody was bouncing. And so when they stopped that kirtan, Lord Chaitanya was golden again. And he said, I've transferred all the sinful reactions of Jagai and Madai to those people who blaspheme devotees, criticize devotees. So therefore, people that are criticizing devotees, you'll find they're never happy. And they blame you. If they're criticizing you, it's your fault that they're not happy. But they're drinking poison and thinking it's going to hurt someone else. So we have to push on, just like if you become elected president of any place in the world except maybe China, or, the media just blasphemes that president constantly. Because that sells newspapers. People want to see criticism of leaders. Purport. After one gives up the body, one is transferred to another body. Sometimes, if one is too sinful, he is checked from transmigrating to another body, and he becomes a ghost. To save a diseased person from ghostly life, funeral ceremony, or the shraddha, is prescribed in Vedic authorities. Must be performed. Ravana was killed by Lord Ramachandra and was destined for hellish life. But by Lord Ramachandra's advice, Bibhishana, Ravana's brother, performed all the duties prescribed in relation to the dead. Thus Lord Ramachandra was kind to Ravana even after his death. He made sure they had a completely royal funeral. He was honored as a great king and a great warrior. The battle went on between Ram and Ravana for a long time because Ram was allowing Ravana to show off his fighting ability. So everyone could see what a great fighter he was. But then he killed him. So Lord Rama found Sita sitting in a small cottage underneath a tree named Simshapa in the forest of Ashok trees. She was lean and thin, being aggrieved because of separation from him. Seeing his wife in that condition, Ramachandra was very compassionate. When Ramachandra came before her, she was exceedingly happy to see her beloved, and lotus-like mouth showed her joy. After giving Bibhishan the power to rule the Rakshasa population of Lanka for the duration of one kalpa, Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, placed Sita Devi on an airplane decorated with flowers and then got on the plane himself. The period for his living in the forest had ended, and Lord returned to Ayodhya, accompanied by Hanuman, Sugriva, and his brother Lakshman. And even more, that was special airplane could hold any number of passengers. So Sita said she wanted to stop in Kishkinda and pick up the wives of all the monkeys because they fought for Ram. So they did that. The monkeys went ahead, I don't know, they're not monkeys, but Vanara. Ravana thought they were monkeys. He thought Ram and Lakshman were men, so he was an illusion. Upon reaching Ayodhya, Ramachandra heard that in his absence, his brother Bharat was eating barley cooked in the urine of a cow, covering his body with the bark of trees, wearing matted locks of hair, and lying on a mattress of kusha. That means about this thick. Like that, maybe. And he's a king. The most merciful Lord very much lamented this. When Lord Bharat understood that Lord Ramachandra was returning to the capital, he took upon his own head Lord Ramachandra's wooden shoes and came out of his camp at Nandigram. Lord Bharat was accompanied by ministers, priests, and other respectable citizens, by professional musicians, vibrating, pleasing, musical sounds, and by learned brahmanas, loudly chanting Vedic hymns. Following in the procession were chariots drawn by beautiful horses with harnesses of golden rope. These chariots were decorated by flags with golden embroidery and by other flags of various sizes and patterns. There were soldiers bedecked with golden armor, servants bearing betel nut, and many well-known and beautiful prostitutes. Many servants followed on foot, bearing an umbrella, whisks, different grades of precious jewels, and other paraphernalia befitting a royal reception. Accompanied in this way, Lord Bharat, his heart softened in ecstasy and his eyes full of tears, approached Lord Ramachandra and fell at his lotus feet in great ecstatic love. The word prostitute is misleading because the modern prostitute is very low class generally. Although sometimes they're very nice. In Thailand there's so many, and they sit out in front of the clubs waiting for men. And many times they see us, they say, "What is that book?" And they buy books. They just have some karma to have such a job. But these girls in the Vedic culture, they were much different. They were very high class at times, entertainers, and it wasn't for just low class genital satisfaction. But that's the word used. In Dwarka there were many. The citizens of Ayodhya, upon seeing their king return after long absence, offered him flower garlands, waved their upper cloth, and danced in great jubilation. O king, Lord Bharat carried Lord Ramachandra's wooden shoes, Sugriva and Vibhishana carried a whisk and an excellent fan, Hanuman carried a white umbrella, Shatrughna carried a bow and 2 quivers, and Sita Devi carried a water pot filled with water from holy places. Angada carried a sword, and Jambavan, the king of the rickshaws, carried a golden shield. The beginning part said, Gaurartic song. Somebody has a fan, somebody has a wheel, somebody has an umbrella. That's what the song is about. O King Parikshit, as the Lord sat in an airplane of flowers, the women offering him prayers and reciters chanting about his characteristics, he appeared like a moon with the stars and the planets. 1-1. Thereafter, having been welcomed by his brother Bharat, Ramachandra entered the city of Ayodhya in the midst of a festival. When he entered the palace, he offered obeisances to all the mothers, including Kaikeyi and the other wives of Dasarath, and especially his own mother, Kaushalya. He also offered obeisances to the spiritual preceptors, such as Vashishta. Friends of his own age and younger brothers and younger friends worshipped him, and he returned their respective obeisances, as did Lakshman and Mother Sita. In this way, they all entered the palace. So we had to stop because we're supposed to go for television. Thank everybody. The pastimes of Rama are very, very sweet and really well known. When they were showing that Ramayana movie on television in India, nobody would go to work. In school, nobody would go. The same thing happened in Indonesia. They started showing it in the school so the students would come. It's so attractive and it's so instructive in so many, many ways, even taking care of children, because of Gurukula and how he studied in the Gurukula and how the Guru's wife took care of everybody, and how they all honor each other and worship each other. Learn what is Dharma, what is a good king, government. There's no use criticizing bad. It's called Yuga. But we try to be good. We have to learn what is good. Because if we're just criticizing, we're just absorbed. When you criticize someone, you take on whatever qualities you're criticizing. They get. When you praise someone, you get the qualities that you praise. So we see the people that are busy criticizing. Many times, the other person doesn't even have what they're criticizing, but they just see it because they have it. And the more advanced person looks for good and they try to glorify, especially devotees. But everybody has some good quality. So look for it amongst yourselves. Always for basis, always serve other devotees. Thank you very much. Shri Ramachandra ki jai. Shri Hanuman ki jai. When I was in Fiji, they used to have Ramayana the old days every night, then it got to be every Friday or something. So we would hear that all the time in the village. Shri Ramachandra ki jai. But I think now they didn't have television at that time. Then they got television. After a while, no more Ramana, no more Ramkatha, unless it's on television. So that's the degradation of modern culture. Lokanath Swami made a movie. Someone else made the movie, but based on his experience growing up in the village, the lost villages. He went home, it wasn't there anymore. Everything changed. No more at night. Tractors everywhere. Tractor makes so much noise, they put a loudspeaker with Bollywood music so they don't have to listen to the noise of the tractor. So but instead they're listening to Bollywood. So nobody respects the old people